This is a Lolly Alstroemeria by Proven Winners, and I'll put some stats on there for you. You can get it from online if you want to get it online from Garden Crossings, which is an excellent online store. I've ordered from there several times. Heidi, she has a YouTube channel, and I've ordered several things from her, and they always come very well packed, and the plants are always in great condition. This one I didn't get from there. I got it at a local Amish nursery greenhouse. But I absolutely love this tropical looking bloom. Most of the blooms on here are aged, but looks like there's some new ones forming. Now this plant is only hardy from zone 7 to 9, and we just got moved to zone 7. I was 6B for as long, I guess, as I've been alive. So this may be risky. It only grows about 12 inches tall and about 16 inches wide. And so with it needing a lot of heat, I'm thinking if I plant it on the on the south side of this greenhouse here, which I basically have nothing here. It's a fairly new constructed greenhouse, so I haven't really started planting a whole lot. I've got a couple of lilies and I've got some daffodils that are spent there. So I'm thinking maybe right here on this corner, it needs sun to part sun. So, you know, part sun, 4 to 6 hours. Right here at this corner, I'm thinking would be a really perfect little spot for it. That way it's somewhat protected from the north. That's the north. But, you know, it's got this building here. It'd be close to this building. So, you know, I could move it over here to this side, and it would be definitely protected from the north, because this is the south side of this greenhouse. So I don't know. Maybe I should probably put it right here. I need to protect it as much as I can from the north wind. So I'll move this piece of rubber. I mainly put that rubber there just to keep the mud from splashing up on it. And you can see it clearly doesn't work, because there's still mud splashing on it, on the metal. Anyway, I'm thinking, the more I think about it, the more I think I need to probably shift it over this way a little bit, just to add that extra protection. So I'll go ahead and move this and dig a hole for it. Okay, so I cut that piece of rubber, and moved it over. I think that's where I'm going to put the hole, right there. And I use a post hole digger a lot of times instead of a shovel. I don't know why. It just seems easier for me to make a hole, just a simple hole. If the plant's not too big, if the plant's in a big, large container, then obviously I'll use a shovel. But sometimes these small containers, it is just quicker for me to use this post hole digger. So I'm gonna start with that. I'm going to mix in a little bit of land and sea compost in this dirt that I'm breaking up, and I'm also going to add a little bit of the Biotone starter fertilizer. So you can see the hole here. I ran into some roots, so I had to chop pretty hard. But the cool thing is this post hole digger is excellent for chopping roots. So let's see how it fits. Oh, yeah, that's a real shallow little pot. So I don't want to go any deeper. So I'll just take it out of the pot. We'll look at the roots and then we'll plant her in. Holy cow. Holy cow. Look at these roots and look at the bugs. Pill bugs. Man, those things are everywhere. You know, we've got lizards, but they're not eating enough. Trying to bang them out of there. That is severely root bound, so I'm gonna take my blade and rustle up these roots a little bit before we put her in the ground. I don't want to damage these big roots really, so I'm just gonna kind of cut into these little fibrous roots just along here. You know, and I almost wonder if I could divide this. But you know what? I'm just not going to do that today. First of all, I don't even know if it'll survive our winters. It says zone 7A, but you know, I'm just not confident yet that we're zone 7. I know smarter people than me are making that call, but anyway, I just kind of cut it up a little bit. I'll just take my hands and rustle it up a little bit and then put it in the ground. Okay, so I filled it half full, put some biotone fertilizer, starter fertilizer halfway up, and then I filled it back in and top dressed it with some land and sea compost. I'm seriously considering taking out the blooms. Well, certainly the old spent blooms, because I'd like for the plant to be focusing on root development and repair. And you know, I'm sure these old spent blooms probably aren't helping the situation. But you know, I sliced into those roots pretty heavy, so hopefully I didn't damage it too bad. I went ahead and put that piece of rubber in the back to keep the dirt from splashing up on my building as bad. So I'm going to go ahead and mulch it in and then decide whether I want to take off all the blooms or just some of the blooms. But we'll mulch it in and it'll look a lot better. All right, so here it is with mulch around it. It looks a little bit wilty in the bloom area. I haven't pruned off the blooms yet. According to the Proven Winners site, it says that this thing, when you read the description, it says it blooms from spring until fall. But when you look down at the stats, it says the bloom time is early summer, midsummer, and late summer. So it didn't mention spring until fall. So I'm not really sure. Exactly how long it blooms. But if it blooms from spring until fall and it survives my winter here, I will be thrilled because I love the blooms on this plant. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys.